Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, students. Thank you for joining us. I don't know how the weather is by you, but on my side, it's pretty chilly. All the way from Polokwane. I'm David Hopstad. I'm going to be standing in for Mr. Rachidi today, as he's quickly in another meeting. So hopefully he'll be joining us a little bit later. I'm not alone. I'm here with a host of colleagues from different departments within UNISA, and we'll be going through quite a lot of information with you guys today. So stay tuned, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. We will open the chat a little bit later, so that you guys can also ask questions or need some clarity with regards to your studies and your planning of what's going to be happening. So once more, thank you so much. In terms of the program, there are a few little changes. We do have a lot more presenters in for each unit, so please take note of that. So colleagues, when I hand over to you, I'm going to refer to you as a team, just in case there's more than one presenter. So yeah, just take note of that. We also are on YouTube, so if you do need to access it or prefer to use YouTube, you're most welcome to access the YouTube channel. I see Mr. Rachidi is in the house. Just want to check if you want to say some words, Mr. Rachidi. Okay, not a problem. All right, so we are double booked, some of us. So colleagues, we are jumping in between. So yes, so that's basically how we're going to roll today. But thank you once more for your attendance. I see quite a number of students have joined already. All right, so without further ado, we are going to quickly have a look at the program. Prof. Magano was going to do the opening, but unfortunately, she's also in a strategic meeting that has happened fairly quickly. So let me just see if she has made it. No, I don't see her as well. So on behalf of the Tuition and Facilitation of Learning from the TSDFL, welcome students, welcome colleagues to this event. I'm hoping we will have a good event, a lot of planning and preparation so that you guys are on board and you know exactly what's going to be happening going forward and what you can do with the time you've got available to you before registration kicks off next week, Monday. And yes, of course, once registration opens, there will be a little bit of time before the first assignments are due. So there's a lot you're going to need to do and be able to get ready and prepare yourselves. So without further ado, I think we can continue with the program. So I'm going to call up the very first person. Is going to be, let me quickly check my program, I'm just opening it, is going to be then Ms. Dazel and Mr. Pignani, and they are from the Directorate of Counseling and Career Development. We call that DCCD. So these guys are very important. You might have spoken to them already on your journey becoming a UNISA student. So I'm going to hand over to you, colleagues. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, David. I'm just going to share my slideshow. As David has said, my name is Lisa Dazel. I'm from the UNISA Counseling Career Development Department. And with me, I've got my colleague, Mr. Vusumusi Pignani. So we will share some information with you about the support services that we offer. And then I will also just talk shortly about some of the preparation you can do as you are waiting for registration to open. Thank you, Vusumusi.
I'll leave my camera on, so see that I'm the person. So at DCCD, Directorate for Counseling and Career Development, we call it DCCD. We support students before, during, and after their UNISA studies. So we support you before you come to the university to give you all the options and tell you what is happening. When you are at the university studying, and I'll elaborate a little bit about that coming forward. And after we have completed your studies at UNISA, okay, and we will help you with your career choice, with academic performance, and with personal guidance and counseling services that we provide at DCCD. Next slide. And how can we support you? Okay, so we support you by helping you to map your career. Okay, we call it career guidance. We support you with a career and related study planning, including career information. This is what we will do. And first with your studies, how you can map your studies until the end, and also your career. If you are not sure what to do, or you have taken this course, you don't know where it's taking is leading you, we will then support you and give you more information and assist you. Okay. We also help you with learning skills. We offer to acquire more effective and efficient learning skills for academic successes. I will talk with that a little bit later when we talk about workshops, the learning skills that we want to share with you, or we share with you, so that you can be successful at UNISA while we are with us. And some people have personal issues that impact negatively on their studies. So it's nothing to do with studies. You're doing well in your studies, but there are personal issues that you are encountering in your life. For example, could be anxiety, it could be stress, could be lack of support, it could be a relationship issues. Maybe you were dumped by your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or you're going through divorce or going through something else. It is us to assist you to navigate that part of your life so that you can concentrate on your studies. We also have employability skills that we offer at DCCD. So the employability skills that we offer will be something like job searching skills, your CV writing skills, and your interview preparation. We also have mock interviews. So if you have one of those things and you want us to assist you, we'll tell you how to get in contact with us a little bit later. Okay, how do we then assist you? How do we offer counseling at UNISA? We do it face to face. Okay, so you go to the offices or to the center nearest you and say, I want to see a counselor. I want counseling, and I want to do it face to face. So we'll do it face to face. Or now, because we're in the age of digital learning, so we're saying we can do it online. It doesn't matter where you are. Just have to make an appointment, and we go on Teams and we do it. So we do it online through telephonically, or through emails, or through MS Teams. So it's depending what you have, what you prefer. Or then we also have the digital resources that you can go through. We'll share with you the thing a little bit later. The DCCD website, the YouTube channel that you can access at any time at your disposal. Just go there. So that's how we'll then offer counseling to you. Okay, so these are the workshops that we offered that talked about you, the learning skills, for example, the academic workshops that will help you how to adjust at the ODEL university, how to adjust at UNISA, because it's different from the conduct universities, different from high school, where you have someone else in front of you. So we'll help you saying, this is how you adjust. This is what you know, to share all those tips with you. Study skills. How do you study? How do you manage your time at the same time? Those are academic workshops that we share with you. Before the exams, we also share with you the exam preparation, what you need to know, how you need to prepare for your exam so that you do well. So remember that the important thing here is we want you to succeed at UNISA. We are here to assist you so that you can succeed and get your qualification at the end of 2 or 3 or 4 years, whatever you are doing. Employability workshop that I talked about already, the job readiness. We help students to write their CVs, to correct their CVs, and to make input in their CVs. Job searching skills, how to network. Interview skills, if you are called for an interview, what you need to know. And we also do mock interviews that we can actually assist you in saying, okay, you have this interview, we will prepare you so that when you go for an interview, you can then land the job that you want. We also have virtual Grand Expo or conversations where we have different companies coming. There is virtual now, coming together, and you can meet all these employers, that are out there. And you can speak to them face to face, or on virtual. You can speak to them. You can ask them questions and how to get to their company, how to work for their company, or something. So we have all these things that we can do for you. And lastly, we have personal development workshops. A workshop that I already talked about was self-confidence workshop, the loss and grief, managing relationships, could be divorce, could be anything else that impact negatively on your studies. So it is up to you to approach us, and then we will then assist you. Now I'll hand it over to Ms. Daisel to take this part over.
Thank you, Mr. Musi. So very shortly, we just wanted to share with you some ideas about how you can prepare to start studying. And if we think about it, starting to study will really change your life. So what are some of the strategies you can use with the time that you've got left to prepare before you register and start? So the first thing that we recommend is that you really take some time to commit to your studies. So take some time to think about questions such as what would you like to achieve by completing your qualification? What do you already have in place that could help you to succeed with your studies? And also, what do you need to put in place to help you succeed with your studies? So we always talk about, I'm not sure in today's digital age what the equivalent would be, but if you take a letter that you write to yourself at the beginning of your studies, and that could be your motivation throughout the qualification that you are busy with. So an example of such a letter that would be a personal success statement would be, it does not matter what happens and how I feel, I will get through this year because, and you complete the sentence. So as you're thinking about these questions, make some notes about it, write down the things that you are committing to in terms of your studies, but also very importantly, what are the resources that you've got available and what are some of the things that you still need to be able to put in place, for example, negotiating support from your family, from your employer, from friends to help you succeed with your studies. Then also looking at the different environments, just because you're studying, it's not to say that your life will be on standstill. So you still need to consider all the other things that will be impacting on your studies. So think about your social environment. And with that, we're talking about, the people around you understand the importance of your studies to you? And also to make a list of the people that you have in your life that can support you during your study journey. Then your physical environment, where will you study? And also, who do you need to negotiate with to get study space? So, for example, if you're staying with other people, family, colleagues, friends, you need to also be able to have conversations with them in terms of negotiating where you would want to sit and study as you are going through your qualification. Then also your internal environment. So those are the beliefs that you have about your studying. So do you believe that you can complete this qualification? Also to just start thinking about, if challenges do arise, what will you do? And then also to consider whether you have chosen the direction that is linked to your career goals. So Vusumusi spoke about, that we also assist students with career guidance. So if you do feel unsure either now or any time during your studies about the qualification that you've chosen, drop us an email, make an appointment with a counselor. Let's talk about planning your career and your related studies. Then, very importantly, you need to make time in your life for your studies. So before you plan the specifics, so meaning before you are registered, you've now got an opportunity to really critically go and take a look at your current weekly schedule and check how you will manage to fit in the various activities you are involved in. And then also very importantly, whether you are budgeting enough time for your studies. So just to give you an overview, we normally talk about a weekly planner. So even now, before you register, you could sit down and write out a weekly planner such as this one, or you could use an electronic calendar also to do that. So this is an example of a student. She's a first level accounting student. And when we look at this time plan for the week, she has budgeted about 17 hours per week for her studies. Now, when you consider how many modules to register for, UNISA recommends about 6 to 8 hours per week for semester module, meaning that, for example, if you're taking 3 modules for the semester, you will need to budget about 18 to 24 hours a week for your study. And if we look at this schedule, after Rasuna sat down and worked out the study time, she has seen that she is spending too little time on her studies, or she's budgeted too little time. So what are some of the things that she can do to get more time? So in her case, she prefers to wake up a bit earlier in the morning. So she's got an hour each morning to allocate to her studies. She will negotiate help with cooking dinner at least 3 times a week. She will minimize watching television, and she will also then have an additional 11 hours per week. She could also consider spending a bit less time with friends or other social activities, giving her another 5 hours. So making these adjustments, or thinking about making these adjustments, can help you to reallocate some of the time that you are spending now on other activities, so that you can make the recommendation of then budgeting at least 6 to 8 hours per week for each module that you are registered for. Vusumusi spoke earlier about our website, so I just wanted to share with you the link to our website. This website is always available, and it contains a lot of self-help resources related to your career, your academic, and your personal development. So we really encourage you, even before you register, to go and explore what are some of the resources that we've made available to students that will help you navigate your studies more effectively. And then Vusumusi also spoke about seeing a counsellor in person. So just to give you an idea of where we are in South Africa. So of course we are available online, but at the different UNISA regional centres, we also have different counsellors available who could assist you at any time during your studies. And I really want to encourage you to talk to one of us before your challenges get too overwhelming. So even if you just need to check in with somebody to share with them how excited you are about your studies, the counsellors are also there to have conversations with you. Thank you, Vusumusi.
Okay, now I'm going to share with you now how to get in contact with us. You can actually send an email to the counseling. You just get this counseling@unisa.ac.za. So those emails get responded timelessly. So we will try and respond to you. Doesn't matter what you are asking, we'll try and respond to you. If you cancel the problem, then we will then refer the issue to a relevant department. Or you can get on online appointments on MS Teams with us. Just go to the link and you make an appointment with a student counselor. Or you can also contact a counselor at a regional office or at your center nearest to you. You can do it in person by going there, or you can go to the website. There's the email, and you can, I think we'll share those email, Lisa, on the chat, those contacts, so the students can able to access they can able to contact our regional centers or contact us through those emails, so they have those emails with us. Or you can go to our website, just it's www.unisa.ac.za/counseling, and then or YouTube the career. They will also have the career workshop that you have done, and if you want to watch them at your own time, you can go to www.youtube.com/UNISA career, and you will watch whatever we have done before you join. So these are how you can get in contact with us.
Thank you, Vusumusi. That's it from us. If the only thing you take away from what we've shared with you is that there are counsellors available, so at any time that you need assistance, either before you register, after you've registered, even once you've graduated, counselling would definitely be one of the resources that you've got access to. And we invite you, and we look forward to having many conversations with you about this very important step in your career development. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, colleagues. That was very informative, and I see the students are loving it. I see all the hands going up. I do see a lot of hands going up in terms of wanting to ask a question, students. Yes, MS Teams is pretty loaded. In other words, we've got a lot of people have connected to this event. So if you are having sound problems, rather try the YouTube option. Hopefully the sound will come through on that side. We will be sharing it again with you guys, so don't panic. We're going to share all the resources that we have today. We will be sharing it with you guys, so don't worry. We've got you covered. So please just take a note. We will be emailing you. So yes, through the MOOC site and as well as through the ICT side. All right, without further ado, let's continue with the program. I see now we're going to move on to the next team, which is led by Liesel Stemmet and Russell. And you guys are from the Directorate of Student Admissions and Registrations. So over to you, colleagues. The floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this session. Hope that everybody's keeping warm during this cold. I am assisted by Mr. Groenewald from Applications, so I'm going to hand over to Mr. Groenewald to take you through the applications and answer possibly some questions there. And then once he is done, I will take over from him with regards to registrations. Thank you so much. Barry, are you there?
Barry, if you perhaps joined as an attendee, please just raise your hand so we can find you and make you a presenter.
Okay, for purposes, he might be experiencing technical difficulties, reception, or let's continue with registrations. And then if he joins us later, he can just then present on applications. Otherwise, I will just stand in for applications as well. I'm just going to share my screen with you. Can everybody see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay, let's just. I'm going to share. Okay, can everybody see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Great. So, when registering, you need to access the UNISA website. This is what the website will look like when you access it. You will click either on apply or register, whichever functionality you want to use. If we click on register, for our purposes, we are with undergraduate. Just make sure that you see the links or the buttons below for the correct registration. Now, there's a whole lot of buttons here, so please take your time to go through each one of these. There are valuable information here that will guide and assist you through the registration process. Obviously, you can only register after you have applied and received an offer. You cannot register for any qualification that you did not apply for. During applications, you have the option to apply for a maximum of 2 qualifications. If you receive an offer, you will receive an offer for either one of those. The one that you accept is the one that you will be able to register for, nothing else. So just tie a knot somewhere behind the ear that will assist you. Click on Find Your Qualification. Now, if you scroll down, find your qualification based on a college. If you know the qualification code, you can type it in there. Otherwise, you can use these radio buttons here that will take you to the relevant college that you have applied for. If you click on the college, it will list all the qualifications offered within that college. Now, please remember, as I've mentioned, you will only be able to register for a qualification that you applied for and received an offer and accepted the offer. So if you have applied for a Bachelor of Commerce General and now you decide, you know what, no man, I rather want to specialize, I want to do something else, you cannot then go and click on the Bachelor of Commerce in Human Resource Management, because that is not the one that you accepted the offer for. It will also not be listed under your qualifications. So let's just move back to the Bachelor of Commerce General. If you click on that, it will tell you the qualification code, the NQF level after completion, the total number of credits, the SAQA ID. This means that this qualification is accredited. And then in order to have met the admission requirements, amongst others, a minimum APS score of 21 is required. There are rules, read through it. Okay, how to choose your modules, co-requisites and prerequisites. Some students think, you know, I can start with a module on third year level, not taking into consideration that there is very, very, very important knowledge on base level. That's first year level, then building from that second year level. So make sure your examination timetable, etc., etc. It lists the modules on each level for you to register. Just keep in mind that registrations are not yet open. They will only open on July the 3rd. So you cannot go live on the website now in order to register. All right, just keep that in mind. First year level, if you click on the module, it will give you some basic information on what this, the syllabi of this module is, the purpose of this module. All right. So on second year level, you will see here on first year level, a co-requisite. In other words, you cannot register for this module without registering, co-registering for that STA 1501. All right. Prerequisites means if you want to register for this module, you need to have passed that module. All right. So you can only register for this module after you have passed that module, not with a co-requisite that you can register those two modules together. All right. So those are just things to take note of. Just want to move back. Calculate your study and other fees. You can go online, get the study quote, complete and submit your registration. please, very, very, very important, note that no registration will be processed unless the minimum registration fee is paid. The moment that you register, you click on submit, an email will be generated to inform you you have requested to register for this qualification, these number of modules, and it would state the minimum and the full amount payable. Now you can pay either one of the two, but in order for your registration to be processed, you need to pay the minimum amount. All right, you can do that either by EFT. If you click on UNISA payment methods and banking details, if you pay by debit card, you can click on there, bank deposit, EFT, whichever method of payment you use. You can click on here. If you click on debit cards, it would state the link. If you click on the link, if you know the amount payable that you will receive by means of the email that was generated to you. Repayment form. That's your student number, your qualification, and then continue. Very important, it says here, please don't click on the pay button twice, as this will result in a double debit on your bank account. All right, so please take note that all your information is listed there. You can put in your email address. If you want to apply for matriculation board fees, etc., you can click on, if everything is fine, then you can click on pay now. Obviously, I have not indicated anything here. And then you will see that the pay now button is grayed out. So let's mark. All right. Right. So the student does not need to apply for matriculation board fee, and also access to UNISA campus that was already paid with the initial registration. But once you mark your modules, it will immediately, the student has a credit in the study account, so there's no fees payable. But if you then click on pay now, it would take you, and it's a real time transaction. You key in your debit card details, and the amount will be taken from your bank account immediately, and your registration will then be processed. Okay. Then, if you are, or if you were registered for the first semester, obviously this is also a reason why you can only register for the second semester. You can only add modules for the second semester. So you then access your UNISA portal through the My UNISA. Under Student Admin, well, obviously you key in your username and your password. It will then take you to your My UNISA page, as we see here. If you click on Student Admin, there's a number of things you can do there. You can change your biographical details. Let's say, for instance, you got married in the meantime, you want to change your surname, you do it there. If you moved and you now have a new address, you can update your address details there, or your contact number might have changed. All right. If you click on, like I say, if you were registered for the first semester, it will not be another registration. You would have to do register additional modules. It would state the modules that you are currently listed or registered for, what that you were registered for in the first semester. Registration of additional study units. Once again, it states your biographical details there. And it seems that it is a bit slow. Let me just go back. Continue. Okay, this might be because registrations for second semester is not actually open yet. Let's just try. Oh yeah, you will see there, application for study unit editions is now officially closed. It's just because second semester registrations will only open on July the 3rd. All right, but not a problem. This is just to show you where to go. If you want to register, you were registered in the first semester, you now want to add modules for second semester, you click on register additional modules, and the modules available for registration will be listed there. They're very same as the modules that were listed for first semester. Okay, you then select on the modules, indicate second semester. Just again, I want to reiterate, make sure that you meet the pre and co-requisites if those are applicable. All right. I'm not sure if Mr. Groenewald is ready yet. Barry, can you just give an indication? Perfect. I'm then going to hand over to Mr. Groenewald. Just take note that at the beginning of the year, we did a full presentation on how to register. That link will be posted and will be available. That is also available on YouTube. So you can go through that step by step. And if there are any questions, I will still be around. You can post your questions in the chat section, and I will answer those. Thank you, Barry. Over to you.
Thank you, Lizelle. Thank you, Lizelle. People can see me. All right. Good morning, colleagues and students. Thank you for the opportunity. Let me just apologize for the mishap earlier. I could not unmute myself there. Nonetheless, we're busy now and we're going to continue. I was asked this morning to do this presentation, so I don't have a physical presentation for you, but I'm just going to run through the application process. And if there's any questions, please ask. And I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. If I can't, I'll make necessary notes and undertake to get back to you with answers. Okay, with regard to the application period for the 2024 academic period, just the following. At the moment, we don't know yet when the application period will open. That is a matter that's still to be decided by the university. I know there's a MANCOM meeting this morning, and we might have the information later this week or early next week. It looks like it will be somewhere in mid-August, maybe later in August, but the correct information in that regard will be published on the website. So this is mainly for the students in our presence. When you apply, you must ensure that you qualify for the qualification you apply for. You've seen in Lizelle's presentation that you go onto the website and you click on the particular college in which you are interested to study in, and it will give you all the qualifications offered by that college. Then you just search for the qualification you want to do. If you click on it, it will open on the next page the requirements. Maybe I must share that with you so that we can just that I can show you exactly what to do. I'm just opening the website here. I hope you'll be able to see it. Just one moment, please. Bear with me. Oh, come on. Let me see. No, that's not. I think you're seeing my emails now. Let me try again. I want to open the apply box for you. Colleagues and students, please bear with me. You know, I'm BC, before computers. Okay, nonetheless, we're going to continue. If you open the UNISA website, you'll see at the top, the red apply, big red apply dot circle, what do you want to call it, blue for registration and the yellow for My UNISA. If you click on the apply dot there, the red apply dot, you scroll, you can open the qualifications. No, sorry, I'm wrong now. You click on, yeah, you see, I'm so sorry. You must open the registration. Oh man. Lizelle, can you perhaps assist me to open the website so that I can open the website, but I want to share the browse all qualifications with him. That's what I want to do.
Barry, I will do so. Just stop sharing on your side, then I can share from my side.
Okay. Why is it now? It's still sharing. Goodness gracious. Can you believe this?
Hi, Lizelle, you can just share from your side and then it will automatically bump Barry's off.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Okay, so let me just share from my side.
I just want to explain to the students where they can see the admission requirements. That's so that they know where to look for it. And it's important that you comply with the requirements of the qualification that you want to apply for. It doesn't make sense. Okay, Lizelle, we must go, you must go back one. Go back one. I want to see the red, the blue, and the yellow dot.
They're on top.
Yes, and just below that, if you find, no, the registration, big registration dot, the blue one on the website. Just below that, you'll see find a qualification, and just below that, it says browse all qualifications. Scroll down where you are now. No. Go back one further.
Let's just see, Barry. Application.
Further back. Okay, apply. There you go. Okay, you can click on any one of those colored boxes for me. The let's make it law is fine. Yes. Okay, scroll down and just click one of the higher certificates. Scroll down, you see. Okay, colleagues and students, there you see the admission requirements, right? In this instance, for example, it says you need a national senior certificate, NSC, with at least 30% in the language of teaching and learning. And then for the older guys that wrote matric many moons back in 2008 or earlier, you need the senior certificate with the symbols there, and or a national certificate, vocational level 4. But we're not going to go into the detail of this now. What I want you to understand is that you must comply. Most of the new students will have the national senior certificate. Some of them will have the vocational certificate. But the important thing is that you check here that you've got 30% for the language of teaching and learning, which is English, on your matriculation document. The academic point score must be 15 for most of the higher certificates, except for education, where the academic point score is 18, and the higher certificate accounting science needs an academic point score of 14. There you can see everything is indicated there, academic point score, the SAQA ID, total credits, and so on. NQF level, everything is there. So let's quickly talk about the academic point score. How do you calculate your academic point score? All right, when you apply, the computer does that automatically for you. But if you want to calculate your academic point score before you apply, put your matric certificate right in front of you. You'll see there's a column where the matric subjects are listed, and then the marks or the symbols, and then on the right-hand side is a column with small digits from 7 to 1. Okay, I'm talking about the new national senior certificate now, not about the old certificates. In this instance now, for the guys who wrote this matric, first of all you take out life orientation. Life orientation does not count towards your academic point score. Then you add up the rest of those small digits there. At the most it can be 7 and it can be 1. So you just add them up. And then the answer you get there is your academic point score. It can be 14, 15, 25, 28, whatever, depending on the symbols obtained on your matric certificate. Okay. Take note that all students with an academic point score of 32 or better gets an offer immediately when they apply. I'll give a reason for that. All the students with less than 32 academic point score goes into the enrollment management process, right? The enrollment management process works like this. You go onto sort of a waiting list, we can put it that way. And the reason being, the university first reaps all the students with the best APS. 32 and higher, that's why they get an offer immediately. There are 2 other categories that also get an offer immediately, but we'll get to that just now. Then all the rest of the students go to the EM status, which is enrollment management. Then when we've processed all the applications, we run the offer making program or the enrollment management program. Then the university start making offers for the students with 31, 30, 30, 29, 28 APS, and it goes down the list. So those guys get offers, right? Now remember that, and this is the one thing people don't know, the Department of Higher Education and Training restricts the university on the amount of students we may enroll, okay? So what is happening now is, let's say, for example, in the College of Law, the university may accommodate, argument's sake, 5,000 students. It's a certain amount of students per college, per qualification. When we reach that amount, we don't make offers anymore. Then we wait for students to accept the offer. If they accept the offer, it's fine. For those that decline the offer and those that do not accept within the 10-day period, we put those, we take those numbers out, we make offers to other students. Of course, those that decline the offer, they're out of the system. Okay, let's talk about the other categories that also get an offer immediately. First of all, and this is just for your information, prisoners and students with disabilities. Why do the prisoners get immediate offer? because they cannot study residentially, obviously. UNISA is the only place where they can study. So we give preference to them. Note that they must also comply with the requirements of the qualification that they apply for. They cannot, just because they in custody, we just allow them to study. They must comply with the requirements. The same with the students with disabilities. They must also comply with the requirements of the qualification they apply for. Right. That is the categories that get immediate admission. Then another important thing to remember when you apply, your application must be complete. What does that mean? That means when you apply, you must upload all your documents. That is your RSA identity document, or for a foreign student, it will be a passport. Student living in South Africa, they must upload the copy of their passport, or from the country of origin, like let's say our neighbors in Namibia, they upload their Namibian identity document. Your school certificates, matriculation documents. If you've studied elsewhere, the academic record of your studies, and if you've completed a qualification, proof of the completed qualification. And that's simple. That's just simply a copy of your diploma or degree certificate or higher certificate document or whatever. Then very important is that you pay the application fee. I'll quickly run through this process because for some students it is a bit challenging. The application fee, and you might need to take a note of that, will be 130 for 2024. It's a once-off payment. It's also not refundable, and the cool-off period does not apply on the payment of the application fee. If you've paid it, you don't get it back. It belongs to the university. It is part of your application, and that makes your application complete. If you don't upload your documents, and if you don't pay the application fee, your application is considered to be incomplete, and we cannot process it. The computer physically prevents us from processing an application that is not complete. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the payment of the application fee. And students, you may need to make notes so that you can also give this to fellow students that do not have access to what we're doing today. When you apply, you follow the application process on the online, and then when you've completed all your information, your documents must be in electronic format. So you must put it on a USB stick or memory stick or whatever. Believe it or not, at main campus, we can still take it from a CD, a compact disc. Computers allow for that. And then you upload your documents at the end of your application. What happens then? The computer returns to you with your student number. Your student number is in red font at the bottom of the application. When you receive the student number, that's when you need to make the payment. Okay? Lizelle already indicated how you can pay, the methods of payment, and so on. But this is important. For each payment you make to UNISA, there's an allocation number. If you use the incorrect allocation number, your fee goes into another account. Now, let me put you in the picture here. We receive close to 800,000 applications per annum. Now, just in that instance alone, you can imagine how much money goes through the UNISA account. Let's talk about also for School for Business Leadership, we talk about the registration fees, talk about fees to pay for an access card and a library card and whatnot. So if you don't use the correct allocation number when you deposit your fees, on this side, our finance department does not know what the purpose of your payment is. Okay, it works like this. When you go onto the bank, in your bank, you select UNISA as a beneficiary, all right? And when you get to the stage where you need to indicate the reference, your reference number is that red student number reflected on the application. It's for new students, it's 8 digits. So you put in the 8 digits, you leave a space, and then the allocation number. Now, the allocation number for application fee payment is the following. I'm going to say it slowly for those that want to make a note so that you have it. You're welcome to do it. It's 537 08 10030. I'm just going to repeat 537 08 10030. The student number says when we receive the fees on this side, the student number says who the money belongs to. The allocation number says what the purpose of the payment is. If you have that correct, it goes into the correct account immediately, and it makes your application complete, provided that you've uploaded all the documents and so on. So this is very important. Please remember this. Okay. I receive there's a question that I receive frequently from students, and this is this one. They want to change their application. Once they've submitted their application, they come back and they say, oh, I made a mistake, I want to change, or this or that. Or the qualification was not available, and then I just selected something else. I want to change it to this or that. It's not allowed. People, once you've submitted an application, it stands. You cannot change it. You cannot change it. The reason being the following. Remember, I said we receive in the region of 800,000 applications per annum. So if we allow students to go back and forth on their application, we will never be able to complete the process before registration opens. Because every now and then they would want to change, and that's why it's not allowed. So when you apply, make sure that you apply what you qualify for, that you apply what you really want to do. If you're not sure what to do, ask us. Or if you need guidance, you go to DCCD. They will help you. If there's something else related to application, Ms. Daisel and I can't remember Dr. Tsefiwa's surname now, but anyway, they send me the email, they ask, can you help here? Then we help the students as far as we can and as far as possible. So please don't be afraid to ask questions if there's anything that you battle with on your application. If need be, you go to an office, UNISA office close to you. Let them help you with that. If there's a problem, then those colleagues of us will email us and say, kindly help here, assist with this, assist with that. And we do, and we try to do it as best we can, as fast as possible. Okay. Once you've submitted your application, you uploaded your documents, you paid the fees, there's a 6 to 8 week waiting period. Why? For the same reason, to give us time to process those thousands and thousands of applications that we receive. And we try to complete the process before the registration opens. And by completing the process, I mean, we process the application, you get a status, then we do the enrollment management program, you get an offer, you accept the offer, and then you can register. So that whole process takes a long time. And students must be patient with that. Very important in your application, record the correct email address. Create your own email address, it's possible. Don't use a friend or a cousin's or your mom's business email address or something like that. Get your own email address. The email address is important because that's the medium through which we communicate with you. That's where you're going to get information from us. We're going to inform you. Your application has been declined, and it gives the reasons. Or your application is now in enrollment management. You're waiting to be placed in the college you applied for, or whatever. So the email is very important. That is our communication with you. Okay.
Sorry, Barry, we've got one more
yes,
minute,
is there
please.
a-
We need to wrap up. Thank you.
Okay, I'm almost done. What I want to ask the students is, don't be afraid to ask any questions. If you battle, ask questions. We'll help you. Everything is on the website. Follow the steps. You'll get through it. If there's a problem, then ask us. We'll assist you as best we can. Thank you.
All right, thank you, colleagues. That was very interesting, and I hope the students, you guys got to see and hear now from the colleagues who deal with this element. So colleagues, please do check the chat as well. There are students that are asking questions about payments and registration fees and things like that. So please do have a look at the chat. It's most important that we also answer some of those questions. All right, without further ado, let's move on to the next section, which is student funding and the funding opportunities like NSFAS and bursaries. And I'm going to hand over to the team of Mr. Mashini and Ms. Deneo Makubu. The floor is yours, colleagues.
Thank you, David. Good morning, colleagues, and good morning to our students. David, can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can just share, put in full screen mode and then continue, please.
Okay. So that should be correct. That should be okay. Good morning again to our students. Student funding, I'm going to start with the NSFAS section, and you have our colleagues from the bursary section who will take us through the bursaries, the private bursaries and the government bursaries. On our introduction, student funding is a division within the UNISA Finance Department. I know most of the students, they get confused whether we are working for NSFAS or for UNISA. We are in the UNISA department. We administer third-party payments that are paid on behalf of students in the form of bursaries, NSFAS bursaries, companies, ESCOMs, MTNs, anyone who comes to UNISA and say, look, I want to pay for this and this group of students, we assist such donors. The NSFAS, we started the NSFAS application. Our application process starts normally from August every year for the coming year. So you apply for this in this August for your 2024 funding. They only open application once, which is between that time. They used to close in November, but however they are now closing in January to also give chance to matriculants who didn't apply. You know, when you're still in matriculant, you're doubting yourself if you pass or not. So they give them until after the matric results are released. The application is strictly online. It's done on the NSFAS website, and applications are fully administered or managed at NSFAS offices in Cape Town. During the registration process, what we do is we receive NSFAS list from NSFAS. They normally send the list in the beginning of the year for approved students and those that are rejected, with the reasons why the students are rejected. After we receive the approved list, that's when we start processing or activating student registration. We're allocating funds. The students will do a temporary registration, then we come and activate the registration for the students that are approved. After we do the registration, we then exchange. That's where we exchange registration with NSFAS. Most students, when they call NSFAS, they will be saying, "Unisa has not submitted your registration." Unfortunately, we can only do that once your registration is active. So most of the queries that you'll be getting is students that are still on temporary registration. We first need to activate your registration and be registered before we can send your registration data to NSFAS. While you are still on temporary registration, we can't. It's not yet a registration. We can't send that to NSFAS. After we send or upload the registration on the NSFAS portal, the NSFAS then they post the students that we agree to say these are funded, these are the students that are at UNISA. They post them on what we call them the linked report. On that linked report, they do this. It's no longer it's a minor check where they check the qualifications. Remember, at the application phase, they are not asking you for your qualification. They are not asking you for how many years have you been in the institution. So once we load the registration, that's when we indicate how long have you been in the institution. Are you still within the N+ rule? The N+ rule is the number of years plus the extras 2 years or the 3 years. They normally give 1 year for the contact students, but with UNISA, they give you the same number of the duration. If your qualification is 4 years, they give you plus extra 4 years. So it's 8 years to finish the 4-year degree. So if we go beyond that, because of the nature of our institution being an open distance learning, they give you double the number of that. So if you go over that, if you're doing a diploma is 3 years, then you get your 3 years plus an extra 3 years to complete that qualification. Sometimes when students at the beginning of the year, the students are funded, but when during the year, due to a change in household income, when the household income change, NSFAS can get that information through SARS. That's where students will be funded at the beginning of the year, but towards the end of the year, they are no longer funded due to probably the household income has exceeded the 350 that they want. After you are funded, NSFAS does pay allowances. They give you money for books. They give you money for laptop and the living allowance. Unfortunately, between the books and the laptop, the student need to make a choice. You're not getting the laptop and the books at the same year. You need to choose. Normally, it is for the first year students who will have to choose to get a laptop, take the money for the books and buy the laptop, and they're not getting money for laptop or for the books for that year. The incidental allowance or the living allowance, which is given to students with the minimum of 10 modules. Any students who registered less than 10 modules, if you registered 9, 8 modules, you're not going to get the 304 of the living allowance that is paid monthly for 10 months from Feb to November, depending when we got the list from NSFAS. If you get the list early, it's from January to October. So whichever time when you get the list that adds to 10 months, that's when we start paying. How we calculate the allowances, you registered 1 to 4 modules, it's 700 per module. 5 modules and more, it's 5,460, which is the one that you then choose whether you are buying a laptop or textbook, prescribed textbooks. The allowances are paid straight to the student bank accounts. We normally, after registration, we send our students a link via my UNISA, via my live emails. Berry has just emphasized the importance of having an email. Our students don't claim that by live emails. They use the Gmail. The university has been saying from a long time ago that we only communicate via the my live emails. So we will be sending students emails with links. The students are not opening their emails. They are not reading their emails. We currently have about 700 students that are funded. We have not paid their allowances to they have not claimed their my live emails. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do because we send the link to update your banking details there. You as a student need to update the banking details. You cannot send the banking details to me that I can upload them for you. You need to load them there by yourself, so that when the auditors come, we are not in trouble. So we really emphasize the importance of having the My Life email. In the second semester registration is going to follow the same pattern as the first one. The students that are already funded, that are already on the system, who want to add their modules, they will just add their modules. After that, they will automatically be activated. However, the students who have registered 5 modules and more, who have received the 5,400, they're not going to get any additional book allowance, because the book allowance is the 5,400 per year, not per semester. Only those ones who had 3-4 modules in the first semester that we're going to top up as they add the second semester modules. And if they add up to, if the student had 5 modules in the first semester and add the second 5, that adds to 10. Then now the student qualified for the 3,000 of the living allowance. That's when you will be starting to pay for the living allowance. There were students who were funded later in the semester, around May, June. So those students were not, some did not pay their minimum because they did not have the money from the minimum. Some paid their minimum. Those who did not register in the first semester, they can still register in the second semester. NSFAS will pay for them as they are now funded. NSFAS pays for 1 qualification per year. This means you cannot register for a BCom degree in BCom accounting in the first semester, and now you want to change to education in the second semester. Unfortunately, you will have to complete the year. Then in the coming year, that's where you can be able to change to another qualification. The catch in this, it's you still counting your N+. If now you have a year that is now on BCom accounting, next year or on your second year, on your third year, you say, no, man, accounting is not mine. I want to be a teacher. You already have 2 or a year of your N+ down. So you need to work towards the 8 years still. Even if you register a 4-year degree when you started with a 3-year degree, your initial N+ stays. If you started with a 3-year qualification, your initial N+ is gonna stay. You still need 6 years to finish. Students who are currently completing their higher certificates, probably these are the students who probably started last year, June. They are finishing this year, or those who had 2 or 3 modules left. They cannot register for a formal qualification, even though no, they can register for the formal qualification. However, NSFAS is not going to pay for it because we have already paid for the first semester higher certificate module. So if you want to migrate to a formal qualification, you need to reapply for NSFAS for next year, and come January, then that's when you will be able to pay for your formal qualification. If you want to register the formal qualification migrating from the higher certificate in the second semester, it means it will be a self-paid qualification. However, please do not forget to reapply for your formal qualification to be funded. In this case, luckily, NSFAS does recognize the higher certificate as a pathway. Your N+ of a formal qualification will start only when you register the formal qualification. So if you had the 2 years of higher certificate, which is what NSFAS is giving, when you move to your formal qualification, you start with the N+. With the new N+, they don't count the 2 years of the higher certificate. Second semester allowances. NSFAS is taking over the payments of allowances from institutions. They are introducing what they call the direct payment method to student allowances. I'm sure our SRCs is invited here. They will touch on that. They've been engaged in this, and they are not happy about all this. But however, NSFAS is insisting they are taking over paying the direct payments or the allowances of students. They are starting in July. So the payments, the allowances of July, they will be coming straight from NSFAS. Our students have been sent SMSs on onboarding SMSs to register online to activate those NSFAS cards that they will be receiving from the service providers that have been appointed by NSFAS. Here at UNISA, I think we will start during the registration of the onboarding process of the. There will be people on campuses. We are trying to allocate people on every campus to assist students who walk in. There will be the online onboarding that the student can do. It's a normal banking app that a student can be able to access on their phones and do the banking on it. Students that are rejected, they have the appeal process that is also administered by NSFAS. In the appeal process, NSFAS, sometimes they will be asking for post-density letters. Post-density letters, they are letters that where the NSFAS is saying you are appealing that, especially for students that are rejected for the N+. The purpose of this letter is to say if you are completing your qualification this year, if you are appealing and saying, NSFAS, this is my last year, can you pay for my last year? So we need, as the university, we need to send a letter to NSFAS to say, yes, this student, the current registered modules are the last modules. You can pay for the student for the last year, because the purpose of NSFAS is not to leave students wondering or if the student not complaining. If there is a fairness of the student or the possibility of a student completing for that year, they do consider that and they accept the appeals. The higher certificates I explained earlier, those ones that are rejected due to N+, because if you don't apply, when you move into the formal qualification, it will say the N+, because they're still recognizing your 2 years of the higher certificate. We also give the higher certificate students the possibility letter to show and the completion letter to show that they are now moving to the new qualification. We normally advise students who are appealing to finalize the application to pay for their registration, to pay for their minimum, because the appeal decisions or outcomes, they come a bit later in the semester than after the closing date of the registration. So we cannot pay or activate the registration of students that are on appeal, that are waiting for the appeal outcomes, because it can be either rejected or accepted. NSFAS also pays for practicals. There are students mainly in the agriculture college. They go for they need to go for practicals. Some of them, they are done in Florida. Some of them are done in the Northwest University in Mafikeng, I think in the Northwest. So NSFAS pays accommodation for those students who are coming all over the country from KZN to come to Florida. We pay for the duration of that practical time. Students, all they need to do is just to get a quotation. They normally have a list on their tutorial letters. Their lectures give them the list of guest house or service providers that they are working with. They get the quotation, send it to us, then we pay for the accommodation. We only pay for accommodation. We don't pay transport. We don't pay for food. We only pay for that accommodation. We pay for practicals, not work integrated learning. The refunds, those students that panic in the beginning of the year, they pay their minimum fees to secure their registration, while NSFAS is still making the decision. We normally refund their minimum payments that they have done. They are also paid direct to their bank accounts. However, we don't pay for supplement. NSFAS does not pay for supplementary historic debt. If it's your first year using NSFAS this year, but you come with a debt from last year, NSFAS does not pay that. They pay for the current year that you are funded for. Cancelled modules. When you cancel modules after the closing date, there's a certain percentage that they charge, the NISA charge, we don't pay for that. The foreign levies, we don't pay for that. So after we deduct all those from the minimum that you have paid, we give you whatever it's left if it's above 100 Rand. On the NSFAS has bursaries as well for disabled student. Sorry. The funding, I must emphasize that most of our students who are differently abled, they are not taking advantage of this funding. It's a full support funding. They cover everything. They cover for your assistive devices, your hearing, anything that can assist you in your disability to be able to make your studies better. The hearing aids, the language.
I don't know. We seem to have lost you. Daneo, can you hear us? All right, it looks like we might have lost the presenter. Is your colleague ready? Maybe she could continue while we try to get you back. Okay, thanks, Rafiwe. Can you just unmute yourself?
Thank you very much, David. Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, students. I am here to give a presentation about the bursaries that we have. I'm not quite sure whether I'm audible, David.
Yes, you're loud and clear.
Okay, can anyone see me?
Yes, we can see you.
All right. Okay, thank you so much. Good morning again, colleagues and students. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm here to give you a presentation about the bursaries that we offered student funding. The Directorate of Student Funding administers donors' funds in the form of bursaries according to donors' criteria, and our aim actually is to assist financially needy students and academically deserving students. Our vision is to be a beacon of great hope and excellence to our students and donors. Our mission is to effectively and efficiently administer all fundings at our disposal by ensuring that every stakeholder, particularly our students and donors, receive high quality service from a committed team. The Directorate Student Funding administer UNISA and private bursaries. We have different types of bursaries. We have Department of Transport, we have Healing Trust, we have CITES bursaries. There are various CITES bursaries, which I will list just after these two bursaries. We also have UNISA Merit bursaries. We have UNISA Postgraduate Diploma Honors bursary. The Department of Transport bursary. Now, who can apply for that bursary? Students who are South African citizens who are at the age of below the age of 35 years of below the age of 35, at least an average of 50% in their previous years of study. The students must be undergraduate students and postgraduate students and QF level 6 to 9 students registered for the following qualifications may apply. The qualifications that are
Sorry, Refiwe.
funded.
Sorry,
Yes,
Refiwe, sorry to
yes,
interrupt. Can you maybe just reshare your presentation? We can see you clearly, but the presentation hasn't popped up.
As that. Okay, let me see what happens here. Is it visible, David?
Not yet. I know we are pushing MS Teams today. We're pretty much on the max of live attendees. Okay, there we go. It's coming up.
Is it coming up now?
Okay, yes, it's flighted, so you can just run it in full screen, please.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Okay.
So just
Thanks,
run it in
David.
full screen. Thank you.
Okay,
Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Apologies for that, colleagues. The qualifications that are funded by the Department of Transport are as follows. It's BCom Transport Economics, Honors Transport Economics. We also fund Honors Logistics. The Department of Transport covers tuition fees, prescribed books. How we calculate the prescribed books is we give 700 Rand per module. So if a student has registered 5 modules, we calculate 700 Rand times 5. Then the funds get to be paid directly to students' accounts. The bursary, colleagues and students, does not pay for repeating modules. If a student has registered repeating modules that were paid by the bursary in the previous semester or the previous academic year, the student would have to pay for that particular module. How the students must apply is by completing an application form that can be downloaded from MyUNISA under the loans and bursaries. It's easy to find. If students struggle, they are welcome to contact myself on the email below. The next bursary that we administer is the Healing Trust bursary. Who can apply for the bursary is South African citizens who are financially needy and academically deserving students, also missing middle category. Undergraduate and postgraduate students with an average of at least 60% on their prior year academic and registered for the following qualifications, which are medicine, technology, visual arts, music, health sciences.
Refiwe, sorry again. Can you just maybe run it in presentation mode, please?
Is it visible?
Yeah, click on present.
Is it visible?
It's coming up. It's still trying to come up. Okay, there we go. You just need to move to the slide that you were on.
Yes, it's perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thanks, David. Is it visible from your side? It looks
Perfect.
a little bit smaller from my side.
On this side, it's perfect. Go for it.
Okay. Thanks, colleagues. Apologies for that. The following qualifications are funded by the Healing Spec, which is medicine, technology, visual arts, music, and health studies. Who can apply? What is the Healing Spec bursary fund? It covers for tuition fees, prescribed books, transport allowance, any related study cost and laptop computer only applicable to first-time bursary recipients. Now, colleagues, if a student was funded in the previous year or the previous semester and have received the laptop allowance, they would not be able to claim for the laptop. It's only once. Applications and inquiries must be sent through to Mr. Lesabe on the email below or follow the link that is listed there. If anything that it's required from the student to assist with the application process, the students are welcome to contact any student funding officer at the student funding. Will be glad to assist with that. The next bursaries, colleagues, we have SETA bursaries. Under SETA bursaries, we have different SETA bursaries. Now, who can apply for SETA bursaries? As UNISA students, UNISA does not administer SETA bursary application process, but students may apply directly to SETA using the links below. South African citizens who are between the ages of 18 and 35 may apply for all the SETA bursaries. The types of bursaries that we have, colleagues, is FASITA, Financial and Accounting Services Sector, Education and Training Authority, for students who are registered for finance and accounting qualifications, which are FACs, AUEs, and tax modules. The website is there, which is fasita.org.za. The next bursary, colleagues, is SETA, Construction Education and Training Authority, for students who are registered for construction in engineering related qualification. This is the website where students can access the information regarding the SETA bursary. The next bursary is TETA, TETA, which is Transport Education Training Authority, for students who are registered for logistic related qualification, which is it's not the same as the transport, the department from the Department of Education, transport, sorry. This is the website where students can access the application process or application information, which is teta.org.za. The next SETA bursary is SASETA, the Safety and Security Sector Education and Training Authority, for students who are registered for related qualifications. The information is there on the website of saseta.org.za. The next SETA bursary is EDTP SETA, which we headed for the longest time at UNISA, which is SETA Education Training and Development Practices Sector Education and Training Authority, for students who are registered for educational related qualification. For the information regarding this bursary, students may log on to the EDTP SETA website to get all the information regarding this bursary. The next one is Bank SETA, Banking Sector Education and Training Authority, for students who are registered for banking related qualification. The website, it's their colleagues, which is bankseta.org.za. Students, if they need any other assistance regarding the SETA bursaries, they are more than welcome to contact any student funding officer. They'll be assisted with that. And the next bursary is Services Sector Education and Training Authority. This focuses more on the skills development. The focus is upskilling youth through various education sectors. The website is their colleagues, which is Services SETA, And for more information regarding the SETA bursaries, the administrator for this SETA bursaries is Miss Ndlovu, Jacqueline Ndlovu. Her email address is Ndlovu mj2@unisa.ac.za, or they can contact any other student funding. Will be happy to assist with the inquiries. The next bursary that we have, colleagues and students, it's the UNISA Merit Bursary, which we administer internally. Who can apply for the bursaries as South African citizens registered for a formal qualification in any discipline at UNISA, students on their second year of study, and have at least the average of 75% and above in their previous years of study. Students must be financially needy, and the missing middle student qualified to be considered for the bursary, kept to an annual family household of 600,000 per annum. Students must register for a minimum of 5 years, 5 modules, per semester, and the equivalent for the year modules. What does the bursary cover? The UNISA Merit Bursary, colleagues and students, covers tuition fees, prescribed books. The bursary does not cover the failed or repeating modules. If a student have registered for a repeating modules that was covered before by the bursary in the previous semester or the previous academic year, the student would have to pay that from their own pocket. And how the students can apply is by completing the application form or download the application form from My UNISA on the link below. And the administrator for the bursary is Mr. Manamela. His email address is there. The application form is still open for the UNISA Merit Bursary, and also the Healensburg Trust Bursary. The application form is still open. The students are more than welcome to apply, and also the Department of Transport, it's still open, colleagues. We urge the students to apply for this bursary. We've been struggling for years with getting students to apply. We've sent SMSs, we've invited students via My Life account, email addresses, but it seems as though students, they don't check their email addresses. But we urge students to please apply. We did receive the budget for this academic year from the Department of Transport, so the funds are there. We urge the students to apply. Excuse me. Thank you very much, colleagues and students. That would be all from our bursary section. And if any student has any inquiry, they must just feel free, even colleagues as well, to contact any student funding officer or any student funding officer that has been listed in any of the slides. Will be glad to assist. Contact us via Teams. Our numbers are there on Teams, and we will also share the presentation after this. And we have all the teams on the chats who are available to answer questions if there are any questions. And thank you very much, colleagues and students. Have a great day further. Thank you, David.
Thanks, Refiwe, and thank you so much for the presentation. We will be sharing this information, students, so don't panic if you didn't manage to write down the email addresses, or just remember it's also on YouTube, so you can always just go to watch the video thereafter and then pause it and then quickly write down what you need to write down. So it's also an option. All right, so I just want to check with Dineo. Are you back? Can you maybe finish your presentation? Just let us know, please, Dineo.
Hi, David. Yes, I'm back. I think I don't know what happened there.
No, no problem. Okay, you can share your presentation and continue from where you left off.
Okay, let me just now. Can you see the presentation now?
I can see your MS Teams. Okay, there we go. Okay, you can just flight it, please. Presentation
I
mode.
think you lost me where on when I was studying the disability funding.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I think I had just went over all this disability, what disability funding covers. For qualifying students, the assistive devices such as wheelchairs, hearing aids, and any support that the student might need. The application process, registration process is the same as NSFAS. It applies straight to NSFAS during the application date of NSFAS. However, the disability student or the disabled students, their funding cap is a bit higher than the NSFAS students. Even their required income, it's not kept up to 350,000 per annum. The household, that is the household income. It's for them, it's kept up to 600. They are including the missing middle of 600,000 per annum family household for them to qualify for the funding. NSFAS also has bursaries. We call them the pre-funded bursaries. These are these bursaries that are coming from government departments mostly, and the students apply to the government department. The first one is Funza Lushaka. Students apply on the Funza website. This funding covers or pays for education students who are registered for education. The aim of this bursary is for Department of Basic Education to improve the quality of teaching in the rural areas. So these students that are given these bursaries, they normally are placed at the rural areas so that they take a quality education through that. It covers everything, almost everything. Covers for transport, they give them monthly allowances, covers for accommodation. They have also accommodation. However, the allowances are calculated based on the modules registered. The student who registered 6 modules not going to get the same allowance as the student who registered 10 modules. The second one is TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation, is also administered by Department of Justice. The list for both the Funza DMV they are done by the government department. They send it approved list to NSFAS. Then NSFAS send it to institutions where that's where we do the payment and the of allowances to students monthly. Our queries are directed to eGain. We have an eGain email, a mailbox, dsf-nesfas@unisa. That's where we advise students to send queries there so that we have them centralized. We have a team of colleagues that are working on that mailbox where we answer their queries daily. Unlike having to send them to our individualized emails, so if I'm not on office that day, then your query will be delayed. So we emphasize the use of this web email box. I think that's me, David. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Dineo, and thank you so much for coming back. Much appreciated. I do see quite a few questions in the chat, so colleagues, please do look at the chat and answer some of the students' queries. Also, students, please do not share your information. You don't know who those other people are. There could be scammers you don't know. Remember, this is a public event that we're hosting. So be very careful who you are sharing your information with. Okay. All right. So next in the program, it is, well, myself. I will be speaking about ensuring a successful first year experience. So if you did join late, I'm Mr. David Hopstadt. I'm part of the SRU unit, Student Retention Unit, and we will be presenting shortly. Let me share my screen quickly. There we go. All right, so let me just go back one step. Okay, so there's a couple of elements that I'm going to be speaking about. All right, so they're on the screen, but I'm not going to read them out. So the first one is the web orientation. So today we are doing a pre-registration orientation. So once you've completed your registration and you've got some time available, then we do suggest quickly pop on and have a look at the web orientation. We will share the link with you in our info pack that we will send out after this event. And then you can basically just go through to refresh yourself about what is ODA, what is expected from you as a student, what support do we offer, the online learning environment, and other support services. So it won't take you very long to work through this, but it's got very important information that you can start engaging with already to help with your planning of your studies, because that's my next slide. So next week registrations is open, so hopefully you've completed the application process. So now you need to start thinking already, guys, what devices am I going to use, smartphone or tablet or laptop? If I have a problem with that device, what other device can I use in the meantime? So it's some planning that you need to think about. The data that you might need or the internet connection, where are you going to find it? Where's going to be the easiest place for you to access internet and data? So those are the type of things you really need to start thinking about if you haven't done that already. And then, of course, the next one is the skills. What skills do I need?
Sorry for interjection, Dave.
Yes.
I see that there is no projected presentation.
Oh, no.
Or is it only from my side?
Richard, is it presenting?
It's
The
good on my
presentation.
side.
Oh, okay. Just Richard, please. Yeah.
Yes, it's good on my side.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Ntuli, it might just be on your side.
Thank you. Just refresh.
Okay, no problem. Thanks, Doc. All right, so those skills, what skills do you need? Okay, Microsoft 365, as a UNISA student, you do have access to a license where you can access all these programs. So you'll definitely want to know more about those programs, how to do typing, your online skills, searching skills, so all this type of thing that you're going to need to know. So these are the skills that are very important. Then we also look at help and support. Now, help and support, yes, the university has lots of help and support, lots of colleagues that can help you, but you also need your own family and friends just to understand now that you are studying at a university, you're going to need to put a lot of time, as the DCCD colleagues did indicate. So it's quite important that you do a lot of planning. So yes, this information does cover some of the other presenters, but I thought it's just important in terms of your first year experience. Why is it so important? Then what will happen is now you go and register, you complete your payments, everything's done, you're ready to rock and roll. And what's going to happen is we are going to automatically join you on the FYE 1500 course. It's an induction course, which basically takes you through all the things that you need to know. And you're going to work through quite a bit of lessons there. And there's support videos. And of course, there are some activities so we can see that you've grasped what we're trying to show you and teach you. And this is quite important before you even get into your assignments, that you are able then to understand exactly where everything is, who to contact, and how the whole MyUNISA works. And of course, we do refer you to all the resources there. So it's very important. As I said, we will automatically do it from our side. So don't be surprised if you see this module popping up straight after you've registered, but then please do engage it and get on with understanding all the things that you need to know at UNISA, which is very important. Then there's also the My Support Hub, because there is so much information out there. This is basically our central point for you. So again, we will add you automatically. But this one, there are no activities for you to do, but it's simply just a quick way to jump on board, have a look at what's offered, for example, digital learning, and see, okay, where can I get help? What training is available? And who can I contact? So that's basically where the support hub comes in. So it's just a nice central point. Then, of course, my colleague is going to speak a little bit more about this in detail, but please note we do have regions. In other words, excuse me, we do have campuses all over the country where you can go and see colleagues on the ground. You can visit the computer labs and the libraries and the facilities there. So we do have them. They are open, guys. COVID has thankfully moved on. So life is sort of, what we can say, back to normal as best as possible. So if you do want to go to campus, as I said, my colleague is going to speak to you more about the regions themselves and what they are there for. Then we also do have digital access centers. These are basically free internet resources, like computers, centers that you can actually access the internet that UNISA has agreement with. And we can actually then also, we will share this link with you so that you can see in the area you're staying, maybe there's a digital access center that you can access where you can get internet and computer access. So these are very important aspects with regards to your planning and, of course, having a positive first year experience. Now, there's also very important information on the UNISA webpage, so we can't stress that enough. So please do visit the UNISA webpage very often, especially their notices, because whatever's happening at UNISA, like we just had now on Monday, the 150-year anniversary, such things is posted there. Training events is posted there so that you always know what's happening at the university. So that's very important. And then, of course, we got what we call the UNISA phone book. Again, we will share this link with you, is where you can find all the contact emails and numbers for the regions, for the colleges, for the support departments, amongst everybody else, where you can then access and easily be able to find your information. So things like My UNISA and My Life, all of those type of things you are going to be learning, guys. So do engage the web orientation and get busy so long while you've got a little bit of time to spare. And that's pretty much it from the student retention side. As I'm now also the program director, I'm going to ask Mr. Richard Wright, who is now part of the EdOf team, and he's going to explain what they are and what they do and how important it is to attend their workshops as well. Over to you, Richard.
Okay, thank you, David. Just let me know if you can see the presentation and you can hear me.
Yes, loud and clear and visible. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, good morning, everyone. We still have 8 minutes to go to afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. So my name is Richard Wright. I'm from the Academic Development Open Virtual Hub unit, and we are funded by the Department of Higher Education. And we really focus on giving you the skills required to be a successful online student. So that you can make success of your studies, but also that you can learn the skills. So one day when you go into the workspace, you can have some skills that you can add to your CV, that you're familiar with the modern workspace. So firstly, what I want to introduce to you. So I will be sharing quite a few links. I will pop them in the chat and I will put them in the YouTube chat as well. So I won't forget that side. But you can also, as I go along, perhaps if you've got your phone, you can always scan the QR codes or then write down the URLs. So the first one that I want to introduce you to is the Academic Development Open Virtual Hub. And this is a learning portal. It's open for students, so anybody can join. And we've got a few courses on there already. We are still populating, getting it ready for second semester. But if you are eager to dive in already, you can go and visit the site and you can create a profile and do some of the courses. So I'm just quickly going to show you here. So if you go to the site adobh.unisa.ac.za, this is what the landing page would look like. There is instructions on how to log in. But as you can see, there's multiple courses available on here. And I'll go through a few of them during this presentation. Now, firstly, I saw in the chats as well, there's a lot of people asking, what is My UNISA? What is My Life? What are they referring to? There's a lot of these topics. Once you're registered, you will have to terms that you have to become familiar with. And luckily, we did create a resource for you that takes you step by step exactly so you can learn about all of these things. So if you go to this URL, it's bit.ly/myUNISA steps. But don't worry, I will still post the links in all the chats. So what you will get when you open up this page is this little guide over here. And as you can see, we've actually divided it up into streams. So it's very easy to follow. I've registered. How do I access now my online modules? There's a short little video, YouTube video clips. So it's only about 2 or 3 minutes long. So you can quickly watch them and become familiar with all of these topics. So you'll notice, for instance, you're first going to start with my UNISA, accessing my modules, claiming your UNISA login. Perhaps downloading the correct My Modules mobile app if you going to be using your phone a lot. And then how do you actually access your UNISA email for the first time? So it's very important that especially this first steps, because all further communication will be on your UNISA email account. So please, you can go and have a look at this already. So once you've registered, you've got your confirmation, you just go on and complete these steps as soon as possible. So we also delve a little bit further in. So there is, once you now got your setup, how do you now actually submit assignments? All of that is explained on the here step by step. So I will post this link to this resource, open it up in your browser, and then you can view all of these videos so that you're ready for the second semester. So a lot of you already, now that you know you're going to be studying online, how do you actually use this learning management system of UNISA? So we actually have an open course. So it's available at bit.ly/myModulesGuide. But you can always just go to ADOBH and then access it directly from here. So on this course, it follows more or less the same steps as what we have in the pamphlet, just a little bit more thorough. This is actually already on a similar learning management system. So the way you will interact on here will be a lot the same. How you will interact on the actual My Modules. And it takes you through the orientation, introduction to My UNISA, what is your My Modules, how do you access your calendar, all the topics that you need to know to really get started very quickly. And as I mentioned, this is already open. You can go and view this, participate in this. I'll show you at the end of the session how you actually create the account if you do not have your MyLife email account yet. Now, a lot of you might be, arriving here. Perhaps you haven't worked with technology for a while. And there's a lot of terms that they will be used. For instance, Microsoft 365, save it on your cloud drive. All of these aspects. So we actually created a MOOC. This is available on the platform as well, where you are taken step by step through the basic digital literacy concepts. And really, we will say basics, but it's actually, it introduces you from basics to the advanced. So after you've done this, you will have a good understanding what does it actually mean, how to communicate online, what are the different devices that you will be using, but mostly what are the concepts behind all of this so that when you enter into your Microsoft 365 account, where does it fit in, what you can use it for. So I would really advise you, it's open, it's on the platform as well. And we made it, it's actually a game-based. So you can actually very easily, get started with it, test your navigation skills, do the quizzes, all of this online. This really prepares you not just with having knowledge of what it is, but also the skills. How do you use your mouse? How do you interact with a learning management system? So I'd really recommend, if you are still a little bit new to technology or just want to brush up, quickly do this course. It's game-based, so to make it very fun, and you can actually work through this very, very quickly. Then another one, a lot of students in the business world, everything is going to mostly online cloud computing. At UNISA, your My Life account will actually be a Microsoft 365 account. And most businesses are actually adopting this. So if you can already build up the skills in this technologies, it's something that you can already put on your CVs. So we have a course on Microsoft 365 for digital learners. You will learn how to use Teams, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, and even delve deeper into all the, how can I say, Microsoft Edge tools that you can use in education. And we actually partner up with Microsoft for this course. And so you will see some changes on this course over the next few weeks. And second semester, we will be hosting live webinars as well that we will broadcast to all the regions. So you can really come and practice these skills that we know you are ready for to easily do your assignments, your presentations and portfolios, but also you're building up these skills for the future workplace as well. So please, on the platform, you will have to register for this one to log in. I will show you now exactly how you can create an account. But once you're logged in, it's I would advise to start off with the videos. So we've got a little orientation section. Then there's the Saturday recordings that we had in the first semester. So you can definitely come and have a look at these recordings. That takes you through all this material so you can cover it very, very quickly. And you will definitely earn a lot of or gain a lot of skills by completing this course. And then finally, we will see you once we get to the exams. So remember, for when you come to the exams, we will be having workshops. You might have heard about proctoring tools, all of those aspects. We are going to be hosting quite a lot of workshops as well. And there's a course online. So if you're interested, you can actually go and have a look already and see how the exams are exactly going to work so that you know you're prepared well in advance. So just lastly, I just want to show you how do you actually access all this material, especially the material that you perhaps need to log in for. So as we mentioned, this is an open course. So if you click on login, if you're a returning student, so say you've got your My Life email address already, you can just click on UNISA student and click yes, and then you log in with your UNISA My Life email address and password. But now wait, what if you still have to register? All you have to do is select no, and then you can on this create a new account. Simply create a new account for yourself, and you can get started with all the courses and material on there. So I would really, the digital literacy, all of those aspects, even My UNISA, go do them already. So when you're registered, you can just jump in on My UNISA and start with your study material and not still spend some time on actually learning how these platforms work. So with that, I just want to say thank you to everyone. We'll probably see you quite a few times still in the semester with all the workshops that we're going to be doing. Please come and join them. We open sessions where you can ask questions. We guide you through step by step with any technology hassles that you might have. So thank you, David. Over to you.
All right, thank you, Richard. And students, as you can see, we are giving you so much information today. Don't panic. We are going to still send you a nice attachment where all the links are there. So it'll be easy for you to find all this valuable information. All right, so without further ado, let's have a look. So next on our list, or our program at least, is understanding of the services rendered by UNISA for students with disabilities. Okay, I don't like the word disabilities personally. I rather say special needs. But anyway, I'm going to hand over to Ms. Banda and Ms. Ndlovu, who are from UkSuite, and they're going to explain to you what they've got to show. Thank you, colleagues. The floor is yours.
Good day, colleagues and our students. My name is Vukati Ndlovu. I'm going to present about the services that we have in disability department. UNISA has a disability unit that focuses on the diverse need and support for students with disability. The unit is called Advocacy Resource Center for Students with Disability.
Sorry,
Abbreviation-
Vukati, to interrupt. You're not sharing your presentation.
Oh, okay. Let me do this.
I will let you know as soon as I can see it on my side.
Okay.
Okay, I can see
No.
your. We can see MS Teams. You
Okay,
can maybe
okay,
just
okay.
open the
Okay,
PowerPoint.
Okay, let me close
No
here.
problem.
Let me start again.
All right, no problem. Just open. Once PowerPoint's open, then you can share. And there we go. Thank
Can you
you.
see it? Okay.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, thank you very much, David. UNISA is a disability unit that focuses on the diverse need and support for students with disability. And then the unit is called Advocacy Resource Center for Students with Disability. Abbreviation is ACSUD. This department is situated within the registrar's portfolio and is one of the two divisions under the Dean of Student, together with Student Development. The vision of ACSUD is to be the leading provider of quality services for students with disability registered with UNISA. So, you know, I'm happy, you know, if you spoke after the speakers, most especially my colleagues from DSAR, because they just covered everything about the application, even the registration, because DSR, what they are doing, application and registration, is the same that ACSUD doing. There is only a few difference that I'm going to present it about how we assist the student with disabilities. We are assisting different disability students. If you can see my slide, there is a lot of disability students who comes to our department to apply and register in our university. So I'm going to touch about we do have the disability codes that we use, or even the online when the student they apply, those codes are there. So we encourage our students to disclose their disability status. But some of the students, they refuse to disclose the disability because of the fear of the stigmatization. So the challenge is when they don't disclose their disabilities, that is where there is a problem. So each and every time when they apply, we encourage them to disclose their disability. But if they refuse, we can't force them to disclose it. But there will be some challenges when time goes on. The disability code that we have is start from 2 until 22. Sorry, let me go back. It starts from 2 until 22. If the student can go to UNISA website, all our department information is there. Even the vision that I was reading is available online. So I know our student can access everything online. Those who have the gadget to do that, but I know all of students, some of them they do have, because sometimes you will see them watching TikTok. So I know that they can access even our services online. So the reason why we say they have to disclose the disability status when they do application, because if they don't disclose it, you will find out when they apply their qualification, they meet the qualification requirements, they meet everything. But the challenge is, if they didn't disclose, because you know UNISA, when they give the offer, they look at the numbers of the student who apply during application. So you find out you do have a disability, but you didn't disclose your disability. So they will put you on enrollment management, where you was not supposed to be allocated there. So, but if you have disclosed your disability, automatically on the system, when you apply, when they start processing the application, automatically they will give you the offer, as long as you meet the requirement. That is why we say the student have to disclose their disability, because it's very important. Otherwise, you're going to miss the offer that you're supposed to get in the university. So sometimes the student, they will tell you that during that application, there is a space where they have to disclose, but some of them, they just skip that information. And then later, when they didn't receive approval, they will come to us that I was not aware that I supposed to disclose our disability. So we don't penalize them. We request them to send us a medical certificate. Once they send the medical certificate to our department, we forward to application office, and then we explain why we submit this late, so that the student, they can give an offer if they meet the requirements. And then the only thing what I like, all students with disability, they are the first priority to be given the offer, unlike non-disabled students here at UNISA. So that is why we encourage all students with disability to disclose their disability, so that they can be given the offer if they meet the requirement. So I'm asking all students to inform all students who are interested to study at UNISA in the next application office, so that they can give this information to them, so that they can understand when they apply, what information that they have to submit, or what information that they have to know before they can come and do application. So I know there is a lot of students who will be coming in the next application. Some of them, they don't have information. So please, all our students with disability who are here, I know you do have a friends, a relative, those who are interested to come and study at UNISA. Please just give them the information about the application. How do they do when they want to study at UNISA? And then the other thing, when they come during registration, I know during the application, they have done application, they qualified, even the NSFAS, they applied, but there is some student who maybe they're gonna miss a due date for application for NSFAS, or now maybe there is some student who will be registering for second semester. They didn't got NSFAS, but they want to study at UNISA. So we welcome those students to come and register. We assist the student. We have a reduction fees. Reduction fees, there is a certain amount that the student have to pay, and then the other amount, the university will cover it. So that is why we encourage the student that they must apply NSFAS, because this reduction, it doesn't cover assistive devices. It doesn't cover prescribed books. It cover only your tuition fees only. So, but when you come late, you say I didn't apply NSFAS, or I didn't perform very well at NSFAS, so they decline my registration. So we welcome the student to come and use these reduction fees, but this one is only for South African citizen. It's the same with NSFAS. So this one, like this year, the student, when they registered, let's say you register 5 modules in the next coming registration that we are going to open on the 3rd. You register 5 modules, and then we say, because you can't afford to pay these 5 modules, we ask you to pay only for 2 modules, and then 3, the university will cover it. So the amount that you are going to pay is 3,910 only. So it's very much important. Let's say if you come in January, it's good, because when you register 5 modules or 2 modules, let's say you register 2 modules in January, and then you pay that 3,910. When you come now in the 2nd semester, you are not going to pay again the amount that you pay in January. You will automatically, the system will activate your registration. So that is why you encourage the student, if you come in 1st semester, it's good for you because you're gonna pay this amount. But if you come in second semester, still you're gonna pay that amount. So the student will benefit too much, because if you come 1st semester, you register 5 modules, and then you pay for only 2 modules, 3,910. And then come 2nd semester, you just add the modules. You are not going to pay anything. The money that you have paid, it cover even the 2nd semester. But this one is only for those who are receiving disability grant. Those who are working, but they are earning less than 80,000 per annum. So if you are not working, you are not receiving disability grant, you just depend on your parents. The only thing that we say, we need affidavit from your parent. We need even the joint income of their parent. But still, if they earn more than 80,000 per annum, which means you are not going to qualify. You qualify only if your parent, they are earning less than 80,000 per annum. So you will find out the parents, they are not working, you are not working, you are not receiving disability grant, but your parents, they are selling something, or fruits or vegetables. But still, I know they do have an account, because they cannot sell those vegetables or fruits not saving. So we're gonna ask them to write affidavit, and then together with the 3 months bank statement, that we're gonna check if through they are not working, they have less amount per annum that they are earning. So you're gonna qualify it. But if we don't receive this document, finance, they are not going to approve it. They're gonna wait for you. And if they're gonna wait for you, it means even the time will be running, you will be late for registration. So we request the student to submit as soon as possible, so that the processing of application for reduction must be go smoothly. So some of them, they come late. They have registered, they pay, let's say you have paid 5 modules, maybe you pay 5,000, and then you heard this information that there is a reduction. Maybe you hear from your classmate, or you heard from someone, and then you come, you say, no, I hear that there is a reduction, but I was not aware about that during the first registration. So how are you going to assist me now? And then we say, no, we request all the documents. Once you have requested all the documents, we'll give you a form that you need to complete. Once you are done, we submit to finance, so that they can process it, and then they will take only the amount that you're supposed to pay when you have registered using reduction. Let's say you have pay 5,000, and then you're supposed to pay 3,910. So they're gonna calculate it, and then if you need a refund, they're gonna refund you, and then they took the money that you're supposed to pay only. We don't say because you came late, we cannot assist you. We assist you, but in the next application for NSFAS, we encourage the student to apply it so that you can benefit like other students. So this one for reduction, we use only you have never apply for NSFAS. Maybe you came after due date for NSFAS, or you never perform very well, or it was you have registered and then you was not aware that there is a reduction and you are receiving disability grant. We just assist you. We don't say no, you will be assisted in the next application. So please just give this information to all students who are staying at home, who doesn't have a NSFAS, who maybe they were registered and then they were phased out to NSFAS, or they are registered in first semester and then they was not aware about the registered, they were not aware about the reduction fees. So you can tell them to come to us. We will assist them as long as they will give us a supporting document that we need. So we are going to assist our student. During that period of registration, I know some of the students, they're gonna go on website, they do registration, and then there is a specific place where they need to click for a special format of study material. So some of them, they just skip it. I don't know why they skipped it. You find that the student maybe is partial sighted. That student gonna need a large print or electronic. So the student must click that information so that in our department, we're gonna know that what kind of special material that student will need. So previously, we used special assistant form. Special assistant form is where you capture your modules, you indicate the format of study material that you are doing. But now, because we have updated a special assistant form, when they come to registration face-to-face, there is a function that we are using that we capture the information. Student will tell us what kind of format of study material. Let's say you need Braille. We click that information, and then after we have done it, automatically it will go straight to ICT. And then ICT, once they receive that information that here is the blind student requested Braille material, and then you are fully registered, it means you already paid. I mean, maybe NSFAS already paid or you paid by yourself. Once they finish, they see it that this student is already registered, they forward to our department, unisa.ac.za. This is our email address that ICT, they are going to use it. They forward those special assistant form to us. And then those who deal with Braille material, electronic, large print, they're gonna start processing the study material for the student. And then once they are done, they're going to send to student. And then there is some student who will come late again. They say, no, I registered, but I didn't receive a large print. When we check on the system, we will find out that student never inform us that it is going to use electronic or large print. But we don't say you are not, we can't say we are not going to give you the large print because you didn't state in the first registration. We give the student a hard copy because that one, it was supposed to be done online or face-to-face. So we give the student a hard copy to complete the special assistant form. We submit to my colleague who deal with format, the special material, and then they process it. Once they are done, they will dispatch to student. So please, we request the student, if you do online, don't skip that information because we have a serious challenge. Some of them, they don't click the format of study material that they required. They just click only standard. Once you click standard, which means it's a cited material, and then later you will say, I never received a material, whereas you didn't click the format that you're supposed to click on the system. So please, student, we beg you that always don't skip any information, more especially when it comes to study material, because you're gonna receive your study material late, and then once you receive the study material late, it means it will delay you even to write even your assignment, because some of them, they can't download the material online because the gadget that they are using, it can't assist them, whereas they will be waiting the next ones to process their assistive devices. So as soon as they give us this information that they will need the large print or braille, it gives us a time to process the study material, and then we dispatch to them. So after registration we have done, there is another special assistant form. A special exam arrangement form. This one is under exam department, but because we don't want our student to get the information late, during the registration, we give this student information. I know even online, this information is there, but some of the students, they don't, I'm not sure if they are lazy to go online or what's that, but when they come to our registration face-to-face, we just give the information that the student have to complete the form, so that the exam department, they must know what kind of assistant that they're going to give the student when it comes to exam. So they need to take this form to their doctors. The doctors must complete, they confirm that this student will need extra time, how many minutes that are going to use it. So if they don't complete this form, it's a problem, because when they write exam, there will be a problem, because exam, they won't give them special exam. They will tell them that you never apply it, so it means we are going to assist you in the next exam. So we encourage our students to complete this form, or to go online, and then they complete the special exam arrangement. I know each and every time when comes to registration, once we are done with registration or during registration, because already we have a list of all disability students who are registered, we just send a link to all students so that they can complete this form, and then they send it before due date. We know that there is some emergency, you will find that student sometimes got an accident, and then that student, we can't say that you never apply in time. We just make sure that this student can be assisted. The form must be completed and submitted to exam. So please make sure that this form, you complete it in the next coming registration, if you didn't complete in the first registration. So make sure that you complete so that you can be assisted even when it comes to exam. I know there is one student who came, let's say you registered in 2015, and then you dropped out. You just came back again, now you want to register. Please, you must make sure that this form, because when they check on the system exam department, they will tell us that this student is not in our system. This student was not registered maybe 5 years back. So we request the student to complete it again, even if you completed during your registration in 2015. But because you drop out, the system doesn't identify you. So we allow the student to complete it so that exam they can assist you. I'm not alone. In our department, there is my colleague who deal with braille material. my colleague who deal with academic support, sign language, orientation, and mobility. So we work as a team. So if you need any assistant, maybe it's a braille material, or maybe it's an orientation, or it's a sign language, you are welcome to contact our department, and then you will be assisted. But here I never wrote all my email, all the emails of my colleague. It's only my email address. But if you find out, you send to my email, and then I find out that this student need assistance when it comes to sign language, I forward the email to my colleague who deal with sign language. But every information that I'm talking about, even the contact number, the email address, is there in the website. So you can visit UNISA website so that you can get all information, especially disability informations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vukati, and thank you once more for the presentation. So there we go, students. Make sure you access this vital information. If it applies to you, don't be shy. You're going to have to be brave. Fill it in, reap the benefits from what UNISA is offering you. So it will definitely help you going forward. All right, so next up is we're going to be a little bit over what we expected in terms of time, but we've got two more presenters left, and it's Dr. Ntuli, and she's going to be speaking about accessing UNISA's regional services. Now, I did refer to them in my presentation, so now, as I indicated, Dr. Ntuli is going to go in more detail. So this is a critical resource for you as a student towards your success. So over to you, Dr. Ntuli.
Good afternoon, colleagues and students. I hope you are still alive, you are still energetic to listen to my presentation. As I've already been introduced, my name is Simangele Ntuli, and I am the Head Facilitation of Learning, overseeing the regions. I'm going to give information on the student support services that we offer in the regional services. This is mostly about facilitation of learning. UNISA has got regional services across the country. UNISA is available across the country. And we have the Eastern Cape, we've got the Gauteng region, which is the biggest. We've got KwaZulu-Natal, we've got Northeastern, which is comprised of Limpopo and Mpumalanga. We've got Midlands regions, which has got Free State and Northern Cape, as well as the Western Cape. As you can see around all provinces, we do have the footprint of the institution. So we bring the services to you. So our role in the regions is that we are placed in areas that are closer to the students across the country. We bring the university closer to you, as I've already said. Regional offices reach students regardless of geographical location via their respective online portals available on my modules. And we create a positive learning experience for you and also facilitate student success by providing professional administration and academic student support services. We provide access to study space and computer laboratories. So if ever you do not have a computer, you've got challenges with your computer, you can come to the regions. We are there to service you. The services that we provide as you start your journey: applications, we've got registrations, by face-to-face or even online support. We've got facilitation of learning. This is for academic and even ICT support. the library services, the counseling services, and at the end of their journey, we also assist with graduation and even alumni chapter. So these services are supported to you. We've got uninterrupted power supply because we've got generators. Suppose you are also writing an exam. Yes, we know that we are not supposed to give you access to the computer labs. But if you bring your own device, we can just give you a space where you can just sit there and write examination and not being afraid of any power cut or any power shedding, load shedding. We've got those computer labs, we've got those studies places, and over and above a free Wi-Fi in case your data gets depleted. But when you are on campus, you will definitely have internet connectivity without any fear. We've got the tutorial services at the regions where we appoint qualified tutors that complement lecturers to support students. And we've got two types of tutoring at UNISA, that is e-tutoring and also the previously called face-to-face tutoring. The e-tutoring is offered by the colleges for all modules. However, the face-to-face, now we call the virtual tutoring, is offered only in the high-risk modules, those modules that are pain in your neck, those modules that you have failed repeatedly, and we say, come to us and we will give you support. So those are selected modules. And over and above, when we have had the tutorial service tutorial, we normally record the tutorial service and then the tutorial for that specific module so that you are able to access it at your own time, at your own space, and listen to it. And then you can interact with your tutor at your own space and time and ask him or her questions that bother you regarding that particular module. Then we've got academic literacy services at the regions. These academic literacy services are divided into three. That is the reading and writing services for undergraduate students. We've got quantitative literacies for all the modules that have got a number in it. And then like economics, mostly they are based in in camps, economics and management sciences, and even in science and engineering technologies, maths, economics and accounting sciences, etc. Then we've got research writing for postgraduate students. If you are doing a module that has got a research item in it, that's the place where you need to go. These are the workshops that you need to attend. With reading and writing, we've got those modules like English. I know that students fail English in high numbers and they repeat. There's a certain module in English that they repeat 1,000 times. So we are there for you to support you and take you by your hand and assist you. So this service of academic literacies is offered by qualified and experienced facilitators. Subject-specific support is offered, and even discipline-specific services offers. If it's module-specific, it's because students are failing it in high numbers and others to an extent that they can even repeat that module 10 times. That's where we come in and we say that you cannot, this is not allowed at UNISA. We are therefore going to pester you. We are going to send you emails. We are going to telephone you and ensure that you submit your assignment. You get into chats with your tutors. You get into peer learning with your peers. You can also arrange one-on-one consultations with the facilitators, and we support. All this support is offered on MS Teams. And then over and above, we've got the digital support services, whereby access to computer for study purposes. Some of you, you do not have spaces at home to study, even if you can have your laptop. But we say, come, we can give you a space in the computer lab where you can put your computer and continue to study online. give you access to internet, free Wi-Fi, activation of My UNISA and My Life emails. We've got the digital learning advisors that are placed in throughout the country. If you go to the computer labs, they will help you to activate your My UNISA account. They will help you with your My Life emails, etc. Even if your password has got problems, they will assist you. And then they will help you to get to know your My Module site, as it was already presented by Mr. Wright, but there you are going to get a one-on-one support. We've got basic computer skills training. This is offered online as well as face-to-face. So if you feel that your online is not for me, you have to come, you just come to the center, and the DLAs, the digital learning advisors, will assist you on how to do this online. Or they help you with Office 365, MS Teams, MS Word, the Excel, and also the PowerPoint. So all that package, the MS package, is provided to you free of charge. You don't have to pay anyone, because some of you guys are really eaten by other people outside. They rob you of your money that you'll be using for something else. Assistance with signature modules, or exactly on how to navigate through the portal, support students at Digital Access Center. We also provide support at Digital Access Centers. You don't have to come to UNISA all the way from, for instance, Bronkhorstspruit. We do have, if you are around Gauteng region, we do have a Digital Access Center where we have collaborated with an internet site where you can access your UNISA material, etc., and interact within the internet. So it's not only in the regional centers, but also in the digital access centers. Additional support for new students that we offer getting to know your My UNISA, remain in contact with you. We will always remain in contact with you to motivate you and provide support when you struggle. You have had the presenter for counseling service. This is exactly what we also refer you to if you need this kind of support. The regional writing, I've already alluded to that. And also the regional research project. We do have support for students to provide effective support to you as students, research-informed decisions based on analytics. Your participation and contribution are required in this area because, as I've said, we will make a follow-up to see if you are submitting your assignment, what leads to your failure, because we do not rejoice at you failing. We want you to pass so that if you are funded by NSFAS, NSFAS can continue to fund you. That's where we come in and ensure that you pass, but you need to play your role as we play ours too. So for more contact details, for Gauteng, this is the email address. For KwaZulu-Natal, here's the email address. For Western Cape, here's the email address. For Eastern Cape, we've got 3 sites and contacts that you can contact from Tata, for PE, for East London, and then the Midlands, of course, and Northeastern region per sub-center. So colleagues and students, this is what we can offer in the regions. We hope and we pray that you use these services because they are not designed, they are designed for the sole purpose of serving you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ntuli. And now there we go, students. As I promised, the information was given to you. You can see a lot of resources is available to you. You just need to go engage those resources. And it's very important that you do so, and so that you can pass, because we really want you to study hard to pass and to achieve your results. Now, the last aspect of our training event, or our event for this morning and now the afternoon, is the message of support from the National Student Representative Council. So these guys are also critical in the running of the university, fighting for your rights. helping improve support and services across the board. So I'm going to hand over to Ms. Gumbi, who's going to give us a message of support, and it's really important that you guys listen to what she has to say. Thank you. Over to you. Hi, Ms. Gumbi, you're currently muted.
But can you see me?
Yes, we can see you, and now we can hear you. Thank you so much.
Okay, I will send on the protocol observed, and also in the interest of time, extend my greetings to all in attendance, to wish our beloved institution a happy 150th birthday. And I go by the name of Talent Nonjabulo Gumbi, in representation of the National Student Representative Council. I have been tasked with offering a message of support to our first-time and transitioning students. The University of South Africa, unlike traditional institutions, may come across as overwhelming for first-time students, as at times it may feel like expectations are not met. UNISA offers free counseling services, as our counseling department has already alluded, for those who find it hard to cope and those who find their studies overwhelming. And the Student Representative Council is also available to offer any kind of support and also to recommend on areas that they are not capacitated to assist. And then just to share my experience with the University of South Africa. In my first year of studying, I was on the verge of dropping out, as I felt like I was going nowhere slowly. But with the support of our academic staff and support staff, along with my late grandmother, I was constantly reminded that I chose this path, which was to study civil engineering with the University of South Africa. And I had no choice but to keep going and never give up and never opt out. And most importantly, because of my background, it gave me no choice. And the only idea that was in my mind was that failure is never an option. And that's what kept me going most above it all. And then distance learning while studying civil engineering felt like I was a character on Survivor series. But before I could sink, I had to learn how to swim quickly. Challenging as it was, I managed to complete my diploma, of which I've managed to transition to an advanced diploma in civil engineering. With that being said, I believe this program is to welcome all the champions embarking on this journey with the hopes that we won't be dropping out, but we will be growing and transitioning in the institution. I've seen that students have participated in asking questions, of which it's a positive review from them, and it shows that they were paying attention to all the deliveries from our colleagues. And please do not be shy to participate in our programs to our new students provided by the institutions. They are there to help you grow and adapt in the institution. And last but not least, a program that all students will have to take part in is our SRC elections, which will take place on the 14th to the 20th of August in 2023. And maybe amongst you, we will have our next Student Representative Council members. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Gumbi. Yes, students, thank you so much for that. Warm words from you, and we really appreciate your time also being here. So guys, thank you. Before we close today, we're going to hand over to Mr. Rachidi, who is the manager of the Student Retention Unit, to do the closure for us. And once more, thank you. Over to you, Mr. Rachidi.
Thank you, Program Director. Students and colleagues, good afternoon. Mine is just to render a word of thanks to all of the organizers of this event, the presenters, the program director, all the colleagues who are assisting in the chat to respond to student questions. as well as the students yourselves for making the time to join us today. This is a very important step that you have taken in your journey towards reaching your goal of obtaining a qualification through UNISA. We are going to, as already indicated by other colleagues, that the info pack that is being talked about is what will be communicated to you through the email of recordings, frequently asked questions, and some of the questions that we may not have been able to get to in the chat itself. You will get responses through the info pack that you will get by end of this week, Friday. Along with contact details and all the links and additional information that was shared, the presentations and all other resources that were shared with you on this, as well as the recording itself. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. We are looking forward to meeting you on the other side of the registration cycle, where we'll continue the journey of supporting you so that we are sure that what we are providing is going to help you to succeed at the end of the day. So welcome to UNISA. I'm hopeful you will proceed to register, and my parting shot is that please register as soon as possible so that you can start with your academic activities, assignments, and so on as soon as possible, so that you have enough time to do all of your work without a lot of pressure. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Back to you, Program Director.
Thank you, Mr. Achidi, much appreciated. So students, you've heard from all of us. We do have a notice here. Please take note, ICT is aware of the challenges with accepting offers. They are working around the clock to get it resolved. And you will get confirmation hopefully soon that it will be done. And we'll use the announcement tool of the MOOC site just to let you know once it's been resolved. For the rest of the day, have a blessed day further, and we will see you next semester. All the best. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.